Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And this is our top 40 of all time.
All time.
All time. The 40 best games ever made since the beginning, since the Big Bang.
Dawn of the world.
The dawn of the world. The dawn of the sun. Anyway.
Almost. Well, if
three.
it's not that, it's our favourite games of all time.
At the very least, we really like these 40 games each. And if you like the sound of that, then maybe you should consider ignoring what we just said and hitting the subscribe button,
yes.
which would be really cool.
We should rehearse this stuff.
We should probably rehearse this stuff. If you really like it, then please do hit the subscribe button and check it out. And check out the first two.
Yeah, because this is part 3.
Part 3.
This is part 3, so you've got another 2 episodes to watch before this. So if you haven't done it, go and do
watch
that.
those.
So part 1, 2, this is part 3.
3.
And then there's going to be part 4 coming out. So
Exactly.
Yeah,
So if you subscribe, you can go and be found out. You'll find out when that comes out.
I think we should go.
Let's go to number 20.
Rolling dice, feeling nice. Cardboard dreams and game schemes. Click subscribe, it's a vibe. Board Stupid's all we need. Board Stupid, game reviews for you and me. Board Stupid, here's what you should play and see.
Matt, number 20. First one on this block.
2-player games, co-op. What's on your list on the previous video? Is Sky Team.
Great game. It's a great game.
Limited communication, dice allocation, dice placement, and rolling dice,
And stress. And lots of stress.
because it's not the numbers that you needed, and and
you're gonna crash.
and
Oh,
and your partner didn't do the things that you wanted them to do, and you crash your plane. Ideally not. But this is very much what the game is.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're working with your co-pilot and trying to land the plane, trying to avoid obstacle, making sure that the plane is stable and it's go at the right speed, at the right time, at the right altitude, and yeah, you clear your path from the other plane by calling the radio tower, making sure that you got enough fuel, and all of this with just some simple dice allocation, but all of these in silence. So you really need to trust the other person to help you out and manage to do it. All scenario based, and each scenario will give you different challenges. I really love the production. Besides, like, it looks like a cockpit from a plane. And it's very smart how they did the extra modules that you can basically attach to your to the basic one to add more challenges. For example, the wind or the fuel or the cabins and all that stuff. So fantastic production, one of the best 2-player games, and the first 2-player games to win the Spiel des Jahres. So well done to them.
Yeah.
And Wayne, what about you?
I've got a really brown game. It's really good, like really brown. But it's an amazing game. This is actually a good brown game, not like Castle Burgundy. This is Hansa Teutonica. Hansa Teutonica is an amazing game. Hansa Teutonica, I was introduced to this by my buddy Matt. By Tom. And also other buddy Matt. I played Hansa Teutonica a bunch of times, and it is absolutely fantastic. It is essentially a kind of route building game utilizing cubes. Of course, it's a Euro game. Cubes, brown cubes mostly on a brown map across Germany, trying to create different pathways. But it does this amazing thing where you can bump people out of routes, but then if you do so, it gives them extra cubes to then put into different routes. So you've got to be careful about bumping people too much because you're giving them a massive advantage. It is a great game. You're unlocking different things on your player board as well to try and make it more efficient. It is a tremendously dry theme. Even like the new version, the big box version, it's super dry. but the interaction levels in this game are amazing. It's like a Euro game with real, like, cutthroat interaction. It's brilliant.
I think you really need to pass the brownness and the dryness of the game. Again, it's now a kind of like a modern classic.
Yeah.
But you really need to pass those layers of brown because I can't. I really can't.
Let's go to number 19.
Number 19, 19.
Number 19, we're getting well into the top
now
half.
we're talking about we're talking about heady stuff, the serious stuff, the stuff that we really
love it, and I really love Cascadia.
Oh,
Of course, I love Cascadia. Slightly higher on my list than yours, which is surprising to me.
Yeah, fair enough.
But maybe I haven't played it quite as much to get absolutely
I
burnt
just think
out.
that I had other games that are more like but we'll talk about it.
I love Cascadia. I think it's a fantastic game. The expansion adds further complexity if you want it. What I love, I mean, you already said great things about Cascadia. It is a tile placement game, a tile drafting game.
Yep.
Be creating these beautiful national parks. It's wonderful, and I love that you have variable rules, complexity, based on the different sets of cards that you want to play with. Each set of cards will tell you the different patterns that you want to create with the animals, or like bears in pairs, or like the salmon that need to go in a sort of big wiggly line up a river. There's lots of different ways that the game gives you to create puzzles
Yes.
in order to score the most points. But if you don't want to do that, you don't want to worry about that, you can just place tiles. The game doesn't punish you.
No,
You'll score
exactly.
points. You just won't score as many points as the person that's doing it according to the puzzle. It's an amazing game. I love it.
Yeah, the only things I want to add is that if you already know the games, you already played it. If you don't have landmarks, the expansion is one of those expansions that I say yes, buy it.
Yeah.
Because Cascadia can be we played a lot, so there's it's kind of like not repetitive because it's always different. However, the expansion adds that a little bit more rules, a little bit things that you can do, and it's absolutely great, keeping it very smooth and slim without being too heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead, for me, we're going heavy.
We're going heavy. How heavy are we going?
We're going that heaviness that is once or twice a game a year.
Okay.
It's the heaviness that is
I know what it is.
8-9 hours games. It's the heaviness where you need 3 tables to play.
Yeah, okay.
And we're talking about Twilight Imperium 4th edition in this case from Fantasy Flight.
Yeah, that's once or twice a year.
No more than that. I think it's for at least I think for us, both of us, it's one of those games that you need to take once or twice a year. It needs to be an experience while you play. Again, for the few of you that doesn't know what TI is, it's a 4X games that basically you go in. It's a space opera. You go in with your race, so each one will have a different faction with different powers and different abilities, and you go to the conquer of the galaxy.
You're going to politic, lie, conquer your way through.
Yeah, and it's not only going out and fight, it's through politics, it's diplomacy, making schemes and
trade deals,
betraying other people, and just simply create an experience.
Yeah.
It's one of those games that at a certain point someone is going to be out of the game, and you know you're out of the game, and you're probably going to spend the next 2 hours of the game doing not much, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he creates that cinematic things that story, and that things that you're gonna speak about it with your buddies, like for the next 6 months until the game. I got my next session. Actually, next week I got a TI session.
Wish Matt good luck.
Thank you, and we need to get the Board Stupid event because I won the last time.
He did. I can't believe it.
But it is it's one of my favorite games in that specific thing. Twice a year, maximum. But the experience that you get is simply fantastic.
All right, on to number 18, Matt. Matt, what have you got for number 18?
Mr. Raya Kenitium.
Ooh, I love that guy.
Spoiler alert, it's not going to be the only one on this list. But this is one of my favorite game ever. Okay, being at this position. I'm talking about Huang.
Oh, Huang is great.
So, again, re-implementation of Yellow Yangtze.
Re-implementation of
Tigris
in Euphrates.
It's the latest version of the game by Phalanx Games now, with a beautiful production. But it is another area majority war game, chessy games, where each faction, you'll play against with your own faction on the board, trying to with the tile placement. Of course, it's Frankenstein. It must be tile placement. You're trying to build your empire, but at a certain point you're gonna go against someone else, and there is a very cool fight mechanisms. While you can add your special commanders to the board. They're gonna give you some bonuses, but they're gonna give you some bonuses as well if you're not on the board but outside of the board. It's very tinky, it's very chessy, and the fact that at a certain point it doesn't matter if you lose or win the war, all the civilization is gonna be just like one big civilization. So you need to think about how you're gonna get your points. And the good things about, again, the end of gaming scoring is the fact that you will only score for the resources that you got the least of.
Yeah.
So,
you got to try and keep everything in balance.
It's really thinking how you gonna do it, and I really love it. It's way more complex as a game. You need rules are more complex than others, but as a chessy style game, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, Huang is amazing. For me though, it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot with heat. Pedal to the metal.
Oh, okay.
Heat, pedal to the metal, hitting at number 18 for me. I think it's a fantastic racing game. I think it is the best racing game you can buy. It is the game that gives you a feeling of speed. The only thing it doesn't do is steering, but you don't care about that. All you care about is going real fast.
Yes.
And slowing down enough for your driver to get around the corner. Because if you're like me and you go too quickly, you go spinning off straight off the edge. It's a great game what he gives you is a generous amount of game in the box. You can buy the base game of Heat, and there is tons of stuff in there to keep you occupied for ages.
With additional models that you can add.
Yeah.
That are already in the core box.
Already in the core box, and you should definitely play it with the garage module, which I think is amazing. It's essentially a hand management game. You're going to be using your cards and playing them depending on what gear you're in to go certain speeds, and again try to manage the right speed around the corner. It's always tight. It's always exciting. It's a great fun, exhilarating experience.
Yeah, I love it. It's a game that I want to play every time, all the time. So, who knows what it's gonna be.
Number 17. Let's go.
Wayne, for number 17, what do you have?
We're going back to polyominoes, we're going back to tile laying, and we're going into World Wonders.
Oh, right.
World Wonders, relatively recent in the last couple of years. I want to say 2023.
I believe.
Fantastic Arcane Wonders, an incredible production. This is a game that is singularly puzzly, interesting, fun, and annoyingly frustrating because it has really annoyingly restrictive sort of tile placement rules, which will drive you mad, but really make you smile because you're like, oh gosh, like how can I work this out? It like tickles that little bit in my brain that I really like. That it goes, ooh.
Yeah,
really it makes it exciting.
I think especially the first times you play, it can be a little bit sticky because you say, "What is it?
Why can't I place this like this? Like, wait, that doesn't work." But once you play it a few times, and it starts to make sense. Like, okay, and then you can start to, block things together and using the World Wonders to then create, to surround certain types of tiles to score more at the end of the game. Fantastic game. I love World Wonders. Great production too.
And exactly what I was going to say. Beautiful production with the wonders that are actually
wooden pieces as well.
Pieces. Good pick. Good pick. It's a really
it's a fun one, mate. Yeah. What about you?
Of course, we're going toward the dungeon crawler.
There's only a matter of time since there was another one. Yeah,
of course.
You can only go a couple of games between each one. Yeah.
I did put one in each book. Yeah. That was. Maybe more. Who knows?
We'll see.
Who knows?
We'll
For this one, I'm talking about Gloomhaven.
Okay.
In the specific, I'm talking about Gloomhaven Jaw of the Lion.
Okay, yeah.
I did make this distinction because I think the Jaw of the Lion is a more accessible game than the giant Gloomhaven.
Yeah.
And therefore more I appreciated more because I managed to finish the entire campaign in a very slimmer. It's a slimmer version of the big brother of Gloomhaven. Very, very cool dungeon crawler. With every mission, I felt like very, very into the game, and I love the hand management that you got into that they added into the game from the original game, but brought it back into Jaw of the Lion, where it's a dungeon crawler where you don't roll any dice. Everything is made by your hand, by your deck that you can build in between mission. You can swap card and put new cards when you level up. And each card, you got these fantastic things where you play each round. You play 2 cards, and you play the top half of one card and the bottom half of the other card, and those are gonna be moving around and fighting or doing spells
Buffing,
or
whatever it is,
all of that kind of things. And the great things as well, the cards will all have a number. That's the initiative number that you cannot say with the other people around on the table, with your companion, what the number is, but you can say, oh, I'm gonna go really fast this turn. How fast you can go, to check who can go first, so you can try to solve the puzzle. Because at the end of the day, Jaw of the Lion, each scenario is a big puzzle. How you gonna do enough damage to this or that mob to
survive
until the end of the scenario. It's very tight in terms of like the games can end anytime. Like if you die, let's say you're out of the game, you need to start again the scenario. I know you had some more negative experiences, but
It's I know people love it, but it just wasn't for me. I think it's a super cool game. Yeah, I love what it does. I love the card system.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a few things that bugged me about it, but we'll save that for maybe. We'll save that for the Patreons one day. We'll see.
Yeah.
So Matt, time for number 16.
1 versus 1.
Oh, you love it the way there's so many on your list.
It's the thing. Asymmetric.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Great production.
Okay. Oh, I think I might know.
Clash Games.
Yeah,
Ironwood.
Yeah.
It went straight up into the top 20.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic game. Again, it was on your list as well. That's quite weird for you to have a 2-player
unusual for me
asymmetric. But I just love it. This mix of area control, troop movement on the board, everything run by your deck of cards, and having this multiple use card where you can do action and do move the troops, attack. But at the same times, when you do the fight, you use the same cards to check who's winning the fight or not. Both the players put 2 cards down. You reveal it at the same times, and you will have attack, defense, and supremacy. That will basically let you know how many I'm killing of your troops, how many you're killing of my troops. But at the same time, like whoever wins, push the others away. So there is all this like very interesting mechanics, and on top of that, being the 2 factions deeply asymmetric with 2 way of winning completely different, that adds a lot of spice to the game. So love it very, very much. I think you should go out and check it out if you haven't done first so far.
Yeah, I think it's it's fantastic.
What about you?
It is an amazing game. We talked about it a lot, right? You can just check out the review.
Yeah.
But for me, this was on my top 10 last year.
Okay, so it went down.
Went down a little bit, but still, in the top 20, that's Big Boss.
Okay.
Big Boss by
another Funko Pop.
Yeah, buy another Funko game. Buy a copy now. It's the only edition that was ever made in English, and if you don't have it, tough luck.
That's it.
Because it's absolutely amazing. Yeah. It's a great game. It's the legendary Wolfgang Kramer, the winningest Spiel des Jahres winner I think ever. That's ever. Yeah, I think the man is a beast.
It's the Messi of
the Messi of board game design, and it's a fantastic game. It is a stocks and shares kind of game where you're going to be investing in different companies based on the game Acquire, which I think you can buy a new version of. But I prefer Big Boss. Don't know why. Don't ask me why. I like it. And this newer version by Funko Games is absolutely fantastic. They collaborated with Mr. Kramer to make a new version with up-to-date rules, make it a bit more modern. And it is fantastic. I really like it. Very interactive. I know you're not a massive fan, nor is Faye, but Tina absolutely loves it, and I love it. And Tom, I think, on the show also loves it. It's a very interesting experience. I really like it.
It is definitely an experience. It's definitely a game that is different from others.
Yeah.
So definitely it deserve a play if you can. It does a few things pretty cool. The fact that you got your cards that basically will tell you where you can build a building, but at the same time you need to check what the other players are doing.
Who's investing in what?
Yeah, the fact that your building is gonna get eaten by a bigger one doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing, so you're gonna get the shirt bags for a higher value. It's a perfect corporate evil corporate
Monopoly killer. We're going to do a top 5 alternatives to Monopoly.
Yeah, I think probably
this might be in there.
That's absolutely is.
Let's move on to the next one.
Next one. Okay, when you just say you have a good one for number 15, so what is this good one? Come on.
Dr. Knizia. Twilight. It's one of the newest games on my list. It's Rebirth.
Cool.
It came in steaming hot. The reason being, Max, I can't stop playing Rebirth. I love this game. I play it all the time. I think I've logged more games of Rebirth than any other game in 2024.
I think it's probably one of the games that we played the
most.
Since
I played it the most.
Yeah, and it came out in just October 2024. So
I played it with the most amount of people. I played it everywhere. I played it at work. I played it everywhere. I love Rebirth. I think it's an amazing game. I think it's a brilliant production. It's a great ethic by Mighty Boards.
Yep.
It is beautiful artwork.
Yep.
The gameplay is smooth. You can teach it in 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes. But the game is way bigger and more interesting than a 5-minute teach might lead you to believe. We've talked about Rebirth tons. We are, I think, the show that advocates the most for this game.
Yeah, because it's a fantastic game.
Fantastic. Everyone else is wrong. This is our number one game. This is our number one game for 2024.
Yeah.
People that didn't rate it as highly, I don't know why. I think it's brilliant. I think it's an amazing game. I love it. And it's
I think it's because people
are wrong.
No, it's simply because it's such a simple game.
Yeah.
People went a little bit more like, oh, it's just like you put a tile down. It's way more than that. It's a game that deserves a lot because it's a great, fantastic design. But we'll talk again about this. Well, we talked enough. But
we'll talk probably about that. All right.
Check on the channel. There's
loads of stuff about that.
Yeah. Number 15, Dead of Winter.
Oh my gosh! It's right up here. It stays. It's alive.
Winter.
It's dead. It's alive.
Again, out of fashion. I don't know why. It's a great game. It's one of my favorite games ever. The Walking Dead feeling that you get out of the game is great because it's that you basically cooperative game trying to survive into this zombie apocalypse, trying to upgrade your base, making sure that the zombie don't get in or kill the zombies while they're around. Everybody works together up to a certain point because everybody will have their own agenda as well. There might be a traitor in your group that is actually trying to do the opposite, trying to make everybody else die. It's very good how you deciding like, okay, I'm gonna go and trying to find medicine in that outpost, but oh my God, I've been beaten by a zombie. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, please save me. Again, it's a very cinematic game. If you're lucky enough that you got the people around the table that buying into the team, again, it's a great experience more than anything else.
It really is, and it really gives a really great atmosphere, that game. It's fantastic. If you can find the phone app that does the Crossroads cards for you, I would thoroughly recommend finding that. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Still the best Crossroads game.
Yes, we do agree with that.
Fantastic game. Brilliant game. I think it's still great as well.
Yeah. Just a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Zombies.
On to the next one. Matt, moving on down to number 14.
Another game that is recent, but we played a lot and we really love it. Mighty Board.
Okay.
No, it's not Rebirth.
Oh.
It's Art Society.
Ah, you love Art Society.
Tile laning, tile placement, and auction
Bidding,
bidding.
yeah, auction.
And gaming scoring. What you don't love about that? You're basically trying to build your collection of arts and putting it on your wall. That is your board. So you're trying to fit everything. Tile placement, Tetris style, with some rules where you want some of the frames to be the same all together, but you don't want the same theme on the arts all together, so you need to space them around. So you're basically building your board, but there is this very cool mechanisms that you're bidding at the start of each round for which art you want to get, but the art that is gonna get left back is gonna go into the museum, making that style of art going up in value. So
cool.
Then at the end of the game, it will depend not only of the boards that you build, but what actually art you got on the board,
value it
and
is.
the value that is that the museum tells you to do. So there are different mechanics working all together very smoothly, with one of the best production ever,
Yeah.
because each one of the tile is a piece of art that is kind of like a mocking of more famous stuff, but done in a very clever way. They're not trying just to replicate it. They got their
It's like an Easter egg.
a
of-
different
yeah.
spin on the art. A fantastic game that I'm always happy to play. Full stop.
It's a tremendous pick, Matt. Love Art Society. Great game.
What about you?
Yeehaw Cowboy. It's Western Legends for me. It's much higher than yours. I thought yours would be a little bit higher.
okay.
I love Western Legends. This is a game
It just
that...
means we haven't played it enough.
in a little while,
Yeah.
that's probably why. Yeah, but this is a game that evokes stories. It creates ridiculous scenarios. I think the last couple of times I played with Tom, he ended up, I think, sucker punching me. There was like a card which is like sucker punch and then killing me with a tomahawk or something like that. Like doing some crazy stuff. It's so much fun. Like you say, it's a sandbox adventure game with a great Western theme. It is the most Western of Western games.
Yeah.
It is the ultimate Western game. You want to go be a cowboy dueling the other players to see who's the best gunman in the West. You can do that.
can do it.
The whole game, if you want to do that. You
Yeah.
can sit in the bar and play poker. The whole game.
I think we had a game where I just been
Played
sat at the
poker.
bar playing poker,
And then going to the strip
going
show.
rich,
And that's it.
becoming rich, and just being the best at that and winning
That's
the game.
it. So it's a fantastic game. You can rob banks with expansions. You can rob trains. There is loads of great stuff that you can do in Western Legends, with the most amazing thing, for me at least, being the engine of the game, which is the multi-use cards.
Yes.
The cards are used for everything, including the playing of
And all the old poker cards that you
It's-
use. Yeah.
so thematically appropriate to how the game works.
Yeah.
That theme gameplay interaction is like that. It's a superb game, still the best Western game you can buy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, really curious what the new one is going to be.
Western
Apparently,
Legends
stories. Apparently, it's going to be like a campaigning game. We'll see. We'll see
We
if
will.
it will have a place in this
List.
list next year. Who knows?
We'll find out. But first, we're going to find out what the next one in the list is.
Lucky 13.
Lucky
Think that
13
way.
is the second crossover in a row. I crossed
Okay.
over with Western Legends, and
Yeah.
I'm crossing over now with Iki.
Okay, well,
Iki
higher than
much,
than
yeah, higher than
yeah,
you,
yeah.
but I do love Iki very much. It's such a beautiful game. As mentioned in our prior episodes, it is based in Edo era Japan. It is a rondel-based game.
Mm-hmm.
You are using your giant worker moving around the rondel to then do actions. You're also going to be investing in businesses, which is basically going to be placing cards in various areas to
Yeah.
try and either create combos with other players, creating harmony. If I play a purple card in an area with lots of purple cards, I get a
You
great
get a-
bonus
yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's fantastic. So it might encourage me to play there. But I also want to maybe be careful about my positioning, because if I'm on the outer side, the outer edge, I'm more likely to be...
Fire, it's gonna
Yeah, the
come.
fire's going to maybe burn down my shop, which would be very sad. It's really wonderful. It is quite a complex, interesting, deep Euro
Yes.
game, strategic Euro game. But the flow of the game and the rule set and the clarity of the player board is some of the best I've ever seen for a game that complex.
Yeah, you don't feel the complexity.
No.
When you start playing the game, you just go with the game, and you can pick up the details and then the more deep strategies while you're playing the game. But I remember the first time that I play, I didn't feel like, oh my god, this is a million rules. But it is complex.
The
but at the
game
same
does
time,
a phenomenal job of
just go.
leading you through. It does an amazing job of it, and I absolutely am in love with Iki. One of my favorite games ever. What about you, Matt?
The Quest for El Dorado.
Oh, what a great game! I love this game. Dr. Knizia's back.
Do you
With a
like
race.
Indiana Jones? Do you
I do.
Do you like racing games?
I do.
Do you love deck building?
I do,
Off
yeah.
you go.
Hey.
Off you go. What you got is there. I think every time we play, we're having a blast.
It's a great, every time.
Every time we
it
play,
never
we have a
fails to
blast.
deliver.
So basically, what
Never
you
fails.
do, you are in a forest and you're trying to go from A to B, B being the El Dorado, as fast as you can before the other players. How you do it? Playing cards. Each card is gonna tell you what you can do. For example, you can pass it through the jungle, or through water, or through the
villages,
deserts,
villages,
and all,
deserts,
and all of that. And it's simple as that. You play the forest card, you can go into a forest style. And you do all of this then with an open market where you can spend some cards instead of moving or doing the action as coins. So you can get a card from the open market, and then you build your deck. And you need to try to build your deck with the keep in mind what the terrains are in front of you. Terrains
it's all
that can
open.
change. Terrains that can change every time you play. So every game is going to be a different terrain. So you really need to think about which card that you're going to buy. And sometimes you want to buy a lot of some specific card to get in away from the other people. So you want way not to get that specific card. It's super simple, super fast, super enjoyable. Every time we play, it is a blast.
It's a great game. Moving on, Matt. Let's race to the next one. Matt, number 12.
I think from now on, there's going to be a lot of like crossover.
There probably is now. There's got to be somewhere in there. Yeah.
But my number 12 is the granddaddy of the area majority, and is El Grande.
Wolfgang Kramer, 1994.
With the
game.
new Astonish production from a year ago, a couple of years ago.
Hans im Glück.
Hans im Glück one. The game is simply area majority.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You need to put as more dude as you can on the map, with a couple of twists where you got the king that is going to be in a certain region. You
cannot mess with the king.
So you can't move your troops in there. There is a card selection where you need to trying to get the cards to do certain type of action.
Like bidding on the different cards,
giving you advantages for the next round or stuff like that. And then the big twist that is the Castillo. So you will have this tower on the side of the board that you can decide, you know what, I'm not going to put my men on any of these territories. I'm going to put it in the Castillo. At the end of the round, everybody can put the things in the Castillo. You open the Castillo, all the dudes comes out, and then is your kind of like secret stash of men that you can then
put on the map.
place somewhere on the map, changing the dynamics of the game toward the end. So it's pure area majority,
Perfect area
and
majority
that's what it does, and it does it perfectly.
It is an absolutely perfect majority game, mate. Right, there's absolutely nothing more to say about that game. As I quickly check my list, into my number 12 is Huang. Another crossover. So Huang, as we said, is the chess-like vibes of tile placement.
Yes, tile placement,
area control, with 4 players being the optimum number to play Huang with, but it also plays really well up to.
Yeah.
I think, Matt, you said almost everything that I want to mention about this game. When you've got your leaders on the map, you've got leaders of different colours, and that's the only way that you can score points.
Yeah.
But if your leaders are off the map, they can also give you bonuses for their being off the map. So you've got this constant tension. I don't want my leader to keep growing my points amount, or I don't want them off the map in order to, to give me the bonus that I might need for a war that's upcoming. You've got a secret bidding dynamic. So when you're fighting someone else, when two states join and a war happens, you're going to be adding more of a certain tile type to try and win. It's fantastic, and I like, as you say, the whole idea of your lowest value resource score. That's the points that you score. So it constantly forces you to try and keep everything in balance. So there's never going to be one runaway strategy where I'm only going to do a certain type of thing. You have to do.
No, because you don't know. Yeah, exactly. Every time you need to kind of like go with the flow and see what happens and what the other players are doing. It's quite thinky.
Very.
You need to remember each one of your generals will have a different power that you need to remember. So there is a little bit of stickiness, but as soon as you pass that and you just like learn the rules at the end of the day,
brilliant.
It's a brilliant game. Yes, we both love it.
We love Huang. And moving into number, is it 11, Matt?
11, I think.
Holy moly, the last one.
Oh, we made it for this section again.
The third episode.
So
Holy cow.
We are at the last one for this block. So Wayne, what is your number 11?
Don't be daunted at being number 11. It's Undaunted. So
which one?
Oh, this is going to be Undaunted. No, it's the original one, Normandy, because I love Undaunted Normandy. But in this spot, I'm going to cheat and just put the Undaunted system because it is absolutely amazing. And I don't think it matters which one you pick up. If you've never played it before, pick up Undaunted Normandy or North Africa. If you've played those a lot and you want a campaign, pick up Stalingrad. If you've played that, or if you like the idea of it but you don't like war, get 2200 Callisto because it's Undaunted in space. If you want
Battle of Britain,
if you like, and Battle of Britain is amazing, by the way,
really good.
absolutely amazing because I love like the whole RAF Luftwaffe.
All the dogfights. It's pretty cool.
And the way it's done is amazing. The system that Undaunted uses is so flexible. It's so genius by David Thompson and Trevor Benjamin. Great deck building combined with this sort of tile exploration and tile movement, moving tokens around the map to try and sort of kill your opposing troops. Scenario based as well. Really smart. When you kill someone's troops, what you're really doing is eliminating cards from their hand outfit. And when they eliminate the last card that represents one of their troops, that troop then goes off the map and it's gone forever. It's
gone.
It's an amazing game. A phenomenal deck builder. It has great tension, great playability. Plays in about an hour. I love Undaunted.
I know that the theme could be a little bit edgy for someone. That's what I heard. Not for us, but if you think that it's edgy for you, probably Callisto, the futuristic version of the game, could be for you.
It's done relatively sensitively.
Absolutely.
But I think it's a great game.
Just putting it out.
That's entirely fair.
Putting it out there.
But man, what about you? For number 11?
My number 11 skyrocketed there. This year is Rebirth.
Wow! Just outside the top 10 as well.
Just outside.
Blasted up there.
Just outside, just because we
cross over in the same block.
Yeah. It's again, we talked about this game a lot. We just talked about it now.
In this block.
Yeah, the things I want to add from your comment that I 100% agree with all of those is the fact that in the same box you got the two different maps, where you got the Scotland map that is more a little bit more player friendly and
more tactical, easy to learn.
While the island on the other side you got the island map that is way more strategic, way more cutthroat,
way meaner
with the open mission. So everybody's playing with the same mission, so you can see what the other people are trying to achieve, and you want to stop them. Again, one simple tiles and you can do a lot of things with that tile.
It's so good.
So that's my only things I want to add to what it was 2024 favorite game for us in 2024, and now my number 11. So
ever go buy Rebirth. So Matt, that was part 3 of our top 40 games of all time. My gosh. absolutely powered through. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
By the way,
Straight
we are
on.
recording this all together,
In a day.
so it's a lot.
That's why I haven't just not washed and worn the same clothes. You may have noticed. But that is what it is. What did you think of this block of games? This was a really fun block of games. More crossovers in this one as well. Than
We start seeing, well, a good game is a good game.
It is a good game.
We play a lot of games together, so
That's true.
we got a lot of things. I'm expecting for the top 10 to be different, a lot different.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a note as well before we get into that top 10. No, we'll save it for the top 10. So you're going to have to wait for my comments and watch the top 10. So you'll find out shortly. But please let us know in the comments which games you enjoyed out of those. What games you expect in our top 10s.
Let us know before.
Yeah.
If you get all mine, all Wayne top 10 in correctly, I'll buy you dinner.
Yeah, buy dinner.
I'll buy you dinner.
You'll win a
I
prize.
literally buy you dinner,
Yeah.
but you need
You'll win
to
a
pick
prize.
up the 20 games all in the right
Oh, no,
position.
that'll come to you by dinner.
I'll cook you dinner. I'll tell you that.
Okay, some Italian pasta. So you should also subscribe if you like
hit the
pasta or
subscribe
not.
button.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Check out the rest of our videos.
Well, check the 2 previous episodes and wait for the
Definitely
next
do.
one.
Yeah, and we're going to catch you again in the next one.
Ciao.
What's the big game reviews for you and